What if your patients could tell hundreds or thousands of their friends and family members about their experience with your practice rather than just telling the 10 people they come in contact with after having a service or procedure done with you?
Yes, please. How do we do that?
Welcome to Success Confidentials.
9 minutes every week that'll level up your practice. If you're a healthcare visionary obsessed with patient experience, team culture, marketing, and growth, you're in the right place.
We are too. We're Lauren
and Christine,
the patient whisperers. We worked together for 4 years as leaders in a real premium practice.
We did not play in the traditional healthcare sandbox and believe human emotions drive all success, and it really, really worked. We grew our cash pay practice an average 60% year over year.
And on social media, we grew our followers from 1,000 to 14,000 in just 2 years, generating millions in annual revenue from social media alone.
So now we're out here sharing what made us wildly successful so you can be too.
Let's have some fun.
Let's dive in. You know, word of mouth is one of the most effective ways to grow your practice. I certainly do. Being in a practice for almost a decade, word of mouth was consistently one of our highest quality lead and new patient sources.
But what if your patients could tell hundreds or thousands of their friends and family members about their experience with your practice rather than just telling the 10 people they come in contact with after having a service or procedure done with you?
Yes, please. How do we do that?
Today, we're talking about word of mouth on social media, getting our patients to share their experience or results on their social media profiles.
We're not talking about working with social media influencers or ambassadors or anyone where we have like a formal agreement in place. We are talking about what we call patient advocates, which are just those regular everyday patients that are coming into your practice every single day that may be more than willing to post.
Because these patients are excited to share their experience and luxury investment to their group of people on their social media profile.
Why is this? Why is working with patients to post on their social media profiles so important?
Because this is word of mouth on steroids, especially in today's digital age. We are able to reach more people than we can even come into contact at once. Whenever we implemented a program, a process, a protocol, procedures in our practice, we saw word of mouth increase by over 250% in 2 years.
We established that program in our practice, and now we help other practices do the same thing and put together a process. When and where in our day-to-day operations do we approach patients about posting on social media? How do we ask them? How do we capture the content to give to them to use on social media? What do we do with it once they post it? Do we interact with it? Do we share it? Do we post it first? There's so many questions, and there is a process that works really well. But a lot of times practices have kind of some fears or hesitations that hold them back
from even starting the program. I would say the number one hesitation that practices, they want to come to us and get help and implement this, but they're scared of the patients saying no and feeling uncomfortable.
They don't want to compromise their patient experience over capturing content. And absolutely, number one is patients should be comfortable in our practice. Number two is that we should capture as much content as we possibly can, but never sacrifice comfort.
And shockingly, a recent study showed that approximately 52% of people, regular everyday people, say that they post on social media at least once a month about products they have purchased. And 60% have posted and tagged a business because they wanted to.
That really surprises me that that's so high. But if you think about it, it actually makes sense. We're in this age where, as a consumer, we don't really trust advertising and marketing. I mean, it's a huge trend on social media, what I purchased versus what I got, where it's violently different and we were tricked by marketing. So I really feel like that actually resonates, where when we buy something, we purchase something, we invest in something, and it actually is as good as the marketing says it was. we want other people to know. It's almost like we want to validate the good marketing and the good branding when we see it, because we want other consumers to know, oh, hey, this is worth it. This is what it's supposed to be. I feel like we want to share that with our network. So it actually makes sense. I'm just surprised that many people do it.
Especially in our case, in specialty healthcare, it is a luxury purchase for our patients, and they want to share that investment they made in the experience with their group. I mean, I always think about whenever I'm scrolling Facebook, I don't know how often I come across posts of people shouting out their car salesman in the dealership and the big purchase they just made of a car. And one thing I noticed that's different in that experience than traditional healthcare is that these dealerships do such a great job of making sure they capture the content for their customer and send it to them, and the person is so excited to share on their own profiles. And here's what I know from building this program and my own trial and error during our time in practice is that when we ask our patients in an appropriate way that is very comfortable, like we talked about earlier, patients are so excited that someone is there to capture their journey and to share that with them, and to even be a spotlight patient for us as well.
Yeah, it's really all in how we ask. And one tip is that it can't feel self-serving to the practice. It can't feel like, ooh, this is for our advertising or our marketing. We talked to a practice the other day, and that was kind of how their scripting felt. And so they were really having no luck in patients saying, yeah, you can get videos and content, because the patient was like, I don't know, I'm paying you to get this procedure. Why am I going to advertise for you? So there is a specific way to ask patients.
And patients don't normally just go out and do this on their own, because they don't know that us as a practice would be willing or could or would capture this content for them and share it with them, or possibly even edit it for them. And then they also don't know what to say. And so those really create roadblocks for them posting on their own.
And we talk about this in our reviews training also, like when we ask patients to leave a review. It's very similar. Most of the reasons people don't do it is because either they forget, but more importantly, they don't know what to say. So really helping the patient navigate what to post is crucial.
At the end of the day, most of our patients are so excited for us to capture their content, share it with them, and then them have the ability to share it with their followers, their friends and family on social media.
To summarize today's conversation, having patient advocates post on their social media profiles about their experience in your practice is a game changer. And it takes word of mouth from 5-10 people here and there that they encounter to hundreds or thousands instantly on social media.
And before we roll out this program, we want to have a defined protocol and procedure and get everyone on the team on board so they know what's going on. Who is going to ask the patient? Who's going to capture the content? Are we going to edit it? And how are we going to measure that this program is successful? Ultimately, we want to make sure that our team feels comfortable and confident, and so do our patients.
And how do we also make sure, above all else, we are protecting patient information? Is there a consent form being signed? What does it say? All of that needs to be really well established before we start this. As always, we do not leave you hanging. We don't hold out on you. We have a full patient advocate program we created in our own practice. We worked with countless practices to roll out in their practice on how to do this, how to make it efficient, and really get everyone on board where it's fun and it works. If we can help you with anything related to today's topic, use the link to schedule a free 30-minute synergy session just for new practices.
For our existing practice clients, you already know where to find us.
Now we want to hear from you. What resonated? What other topics are hot for you right now? We want to know all about it in the comments.
We're just a comment away, so if you have any questions, we personally respond to all comments and DMs. If you're not subscribed yet, make it easy on yourself to see new episodes and reference topics that are helpful by hitting the subscribe button.